Our model today, she's 55 years old, almost 56. She's concerned about the jowl area. So what we're going to do is do a little restoration in the cheeks for balancing. We're also going to do the posterior jawline to strengthen that up to help pull back that jowl area, as well as put a little bit of tiny volume restoration in front of the mouth. The first step is I'm going to do a little baby cheek restoration. She's got this little tiny hole on both sides. I'm going to give a little bit of a lift. I want to maintain the balance between the upper and the lower part of her face. So I'm going to be using a product called Restylane Lyft for that, and half a syringe on both sides. Once I get that completed, one of the big things that Belinda's bothered by is the jowl that's starting to happen here. So to maintain the balance and not to bottom her out, I'm going to do two parts here. The first thing is I'm going to take Radiesse, and I'm going to take a syringe of this, and I'm going to put it in the posterior part of her jowl here. Go ahead and turn your head slightly. So we can see that this is coming down. If I give some strength here, this will give me the capability of kind of holding that back without making the bottom of her face weighted. So adding this to do the vertical lift, adding the posterior to bring that back, okay? And then we're gonna do the final step is we're going to take a syringe of Restylane Refyne, and this is a beautiful filler for around the mouth, and this is going to soften up the little things around the mouth and this little micro cracks here without creating a lot of weight. So those three products today here is building out this little cheek right there and to help hold this up, okay? And she's got good cheeks, so we're not doing a big volumizing here. We're just needing to fill in that hole, which is not that deep. Go ahead and close your eyes, Belinda. She has been prepped, area's been numbed and alcoholed. Okay, here is a little poke. I'm just going down to where that bottom of that hole is. Okay, now you're gonna start to fill. You might hear that little product kind of gurgling through there. And I chose Lyft because she doesn't have a lot of volume loss, and I can take this lift in the upper layers of the skin here. So I'm in the deep dermis. I don't have to go down to periosteum, and nor would I want to with somebody that has minimal volume loss. So it's about picking the right product. And now what I'm doing, I'm just filling where that hole is. If I've got that filled in, pull that back. Good, you're doing good. Do a little bit more right there. And the idea is to pick this kind of cheek up and off where the midline is as it's kind of coming down. Gravity's pulling this down towards the mouth and nose. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a little molding. Oh, a little bit of a Belinda. So did you feel that at all, Belinda?
Just a tiny bit.
Little,
not
just
bad
like
at
a
all.
little pinch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put your hand. All right, so she bled just a little bit right there. Now we're gonna go, got that stopped, and we're just gonna go a little bit higher so you can see there's a little micro hole right there. So we're gonna come just a little higher up. Here is a poke. We're just going to be using a half a syringe of this lift on both sides. Very good. Okay, so just like that, this side on this cheek, the filler's in. And before I do the other side, I'm going to continue on this side, switching products now. And I'm going to start with the Radiesse in this posterior jawline. Now I'm going to come with Radiesse right here, so we see that this is scooped up there. This is dropped down. So what I want to do is put the Radiesse and create some strength here. Okay, there are some anatomical things that we are avoiding and checking. All right, go pop this up. Here's a poke. Check this. Now you might hear that kind of crackling and gurgling, so we're going to put in this strength posterior, and I've got my finger underneath the jawline here as my landmark. Okay. And then I'm going to come back a little bit further. Here's a poke. Good. Again, I can feel my landmarks. Pop in some more. So I like Radiesse for anytime I'm trying to hold things back. That's beautiful. I'm gonna bring your head just a little bit towards me, a little bit up, good. And just one more, here's a poke. Again, with this mindset of bringing this back. There we go. Okay, that's a half a syringe of Radiesse there, creating a stronger line so you don't have an indent. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of massaging on there, checking that. That looks really good. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but now that's a straighter line, and we're trying to give that strength because we're trying to pull back this jowl. That looks beautiful. Okay, go ahead and get it at this angle. Love it. So this is the area right here that we're trying to help. That looks super good already. Now what I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to soften these remaining things up here with the Restylane Refyne. First thing I'm going to do is, here's a poke. I'm going to pick up her corners. Okay. And pop in some support there, because the muscles around the mouth are always wanting to tug down at our corners. We're just going to pop that. Give some lift there. Now I want to come at a different angle. Here's a poke. Good. This filler is very versatile for around the mouth because I can take it into these upper layers of the dermis. Good. And use it as an etcher. Very good. Giving some support to that corner. And then when we come down lower here, we really just want to blend. So here's a poke. We are parallel to a vessel right now. We want to make sure that we are not in that. Give a little safety check. And we want to make this blend just a little softer to minimize that look of the jowl. Very good. Okay. Now I'm going to come a little bit more lateral right here. Here's a poke. You're doing great, Belinda. Soften. So changing that transition there, a little bit better blend so you don't have that little pocket stand out there. Okay, let me stand back and take a look. That looks really good. All right, we're gonna do tiny bit more right in this corner of this lip. I'm gonna take this a little bit different angle. Here is a poke. And we're just gonna bring out this lip ever so gently. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start now on the left side, and I want to reiterate the importance of balance here. So balance between the right side and the left side is critical for symmetry, but also balance between the top aspect of the face and the bottom, okay? I'm adding a little bit more cheek here because when I do this bottom part, I don't want it to be weighted look, so I want that to be balanced. And then also important that the front part of her face is balanced with the posterior. So by building out this posterior jawline with the Radiesse, that's gonna help so she doesn't look so front forward, okay? All those aspects need to be in consideration when you're doing dermal fillers. All right, here we go. Belinda, go ahead and close your eyes. Giving myself a little where that hole is right there. And here's a poke. Good. You're going to feel the filler going in. It's really important choosing the right product as well. The deeper the hole, the thicker the product can be. So because this volume loss in her cheek is not very deep, I'm using just a thinner volumizer. This Lyft, Restylane Lyft, is still what I consider a cake, but it's not a thick, bulky cake. All right, now we're just gonna go up and back. Very good. feels good. One more little bit right there. Good, we were able to get that all done in one little poke. I love it. And I'm just gonna round that out a little bit, make sure that feels nice and good. You didn't even bleed on this side. I love it. Belinda prepped her system 2 weeks before she came in and had these fillers done. So 2 weeks of no vitamins, 2 weeks of avoiding the aspirin containing products. That's really important for bleeding, reducing the risk of bruising. After today, she'll stay nice and hydrated. Fillers love water. Okay, now we're gonna take the Radiesse and we're gonna do this posterior jawline. Here's a little poke. Good. Okay. And just creating some of this strength posteriorly. And I'm holding along the jawline as my guide. Good. Okay. Come back a little bit more. Here's a poke. That's good. She'll have some tenderness for a couple days. Should be able to alleviate that with Tylenol. And one more, here's a poke. Good. Again, continue to bring this back here, pulling the skin back. Good. Okay. Beautiful. I love this treatment here for that jawline. Now the gap is gone, the jawline's straighter, and now that jowl isn't standing out like it was prior to that. So really beautiful. Chin up just a little bit. Very good. Okay. Final step, we're going to go around the mouth using that Restylane Refyne and these little kind of holes and that kind of crack right there. All right. Products in, Belinda. Now it's up to you. Staying hydrated. Take it easy today. Final results in a few weeks.
Awesome.
You did it.
Yay.